Ooh wee. Hello. How you doing today? I just got off of work and I wanted to be edgy, so I got my Joker shirt on. Yay, 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 yay. It's not easy having two jobs, but when you need the money, or just whatever comes from it, you know. Hmm. Shit is shit. Why is it that we prioritize work and etc. more than anything else, you know? Why not having that good balance between, like, just having your stuff because I know I'm saying like the old song and dance, but I really don't care because it's like it's something we're all dealing with worldwide. Things have become bloody expensive, more than it should have. And you have our parents and people who are close enough in that age that sit there and just go, ah, if you work hard enough, if you do the same things I did, you'll still be able to obtain and do what I have amassed. Nigga, that shit don't work no more. You gotta work two bloody jobs just to keep a piece of shit over your fucking head. And I mean, on top of that, let's be honest, some people have horrible spending habits. But how I feel like those spending habits I've got there is just like, things are bleak. Why would you really, like. Here's a thought process that I had a few years ago is just like, why would I save up for this, that, and the other shit when it's just like there's really no hope, there's no point to it, you know? I'm gonna put my cool guy shades on because why not? Welcome to the Matrix, nigga. You can take this red drink. You can take this full drink, or you can take this fucked up drink. The choice is yours. Kachiga, my. I'm just fucking around. But I genuinely do hope that you had a pretty good day today. It's just something about having that work balance that's just crazy because it's like you can work yourself to the bone and you can amass a shit ton, but it's really like you deteriorate yourself. Or you can just chill the entire time, but it's like you're not really doing anything. And then there's people like me to where it's just you're trying to balance it all out and stuff like that, and it's hard because you've never done it before. Sure, you could take tips and tricks, but it's just like it's your own thing that makes you sit there and go, fuck. I hope you don't mind my black ass eating. I'm pretty sure some of y'all motherfuckers be eating while watching this anyway. Man, this is a good ass sandwich. This is why I love my coworkers. They treat me right, and I treat them right. It was ironic because today we were joking around and stuff about we were joking around about slavery, right? Man, it got fucked up. I was just like, damn, who do you think would sell more? And then my motherfucking look, this guy. This is how I know that he was my friend. You know what he said to me? He said, "Yeah, you're gonna be sold more. Plus, you darker." I said, "Oh my fucking god." I said, "See, we gonna be on the same." I said, "Here's the thing. We're in the same boat. We're both dark as hell." And he said, "Yeah, we're gonna be in the same boat, but they're gonna be after you more." I said, "Oh my fucking god." Because tomorrow's Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Jesus, man. Today was a pretty nice day. I got to relax with some friends. We all had a really good laugh. If you watched the live streams earlier, that's pretty much kind of what we did earlier. That shit was funny. I enjoyed myself. What I do plan on doing is, what is it? I want to start heading to the gun range and some shit. Just start recording me doing guns, because I fucking love guns, man. That's not the American or like the nigga in me speaking. I just genuinely love guns. But they're an expensive hobby. Bloody hell. And then my neck tattoo just started peeling, so it was like, and then it's still sore. I don't know. How do y'all feel about tattoos? Like, genuinely. Some people like them, some people don't, some people don't care. It's just like, I remember back then having tattoos was somewhere of like a taboo. You had to conceal them. And then there's still some people that, I'm gonna be honest, are like old heads, and it's just like, alright, you get a tattoo on your neck. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. You get a tattoo on your neck or somewhere that they see. You're not getting that job. Makes you look like a thug. And it's like, dude, borderline. Not borderline. A lot of people have tattoos. Some people have tattoos. That's as much as I'll stretch it. It's like, calm down. As long as it's not like something very offensive, we chillin', we cool. Yeah, man, I want to get the one where the German people from 1944 were doing the bad things. Yeah, you get something like that. What the come on, man. And then you flaunting it around for other people to see, especially in America. I wonder what the fuck that would look like in Germany. Ooh wee. Talk about Joker, for example. I'm out here looking like a fucking Ricky Bobby. I'm out here looking like R. Kelly mixed in with The Weeknd. With a whole circle beard. Call me DJ nigga. Nah, I'm only playing. I've been trying to have a lot more fun with things recently, but it's like some things still come back and forth in my mind, and it's like, what is it? I kind of feel bummed out because there was like this cute girl at work or whatever, and I know you're not supposed to hit on your coworkers and stuff like that, but come on, man. Come on. You know, if you like somebody or whatever, it's just like, ain't nothing gonna stop you. Consensually, of course. But, I learned that she had a boyfriend. I was like, fuck! I was like, oh well. We can still be friends. We can still chill out. She seems like cool people, to be fair and honest. You know what? Hey, let's start up a discussion. What's your preferred type of women? For me, I'll really take anybody. Like, I'm not desperate. It's just I prefer personality more than anything else. It's just, ooh, I'm gonna sound like a dick when I say this. I've never had an ugly girlfriend. Never. And like I said, I mainly go for personality. It just so happens that they're just as beautiful as they look. I mean, it's just they're as beautiful. Yeah. Inside and out. I'm like, shit. I remember I said that shit to my girl. I'm going to fucking hell, man. I remember I said that shit to my sister. Yeah, you don't want to say that to your girlfriend. She's gonna be like, huh? But I remember saying that to my sister, and she punched me. She was like, don't say that shit. And I was like, I do what I want. I do what I want. And she was like, shut the fuck up. She called me the hard R. Fucking funny. I love my siblings. They're fucking amazing. I don't know why I'm so full of life and so energetic, so like decent now. Cause then it's just like the one thing that's always missing in my life is I enjoy my single life and all this other shit. But then it's just like, damn, you're looking for like another person or whatever. I mean, I don't know if going forward I want to reveal I'm in a relationship or some other shit. And I know I'm the one that brought this up, but it's just like my preferred type is just like, I don't know why. Asian people and Hispanic people have treated me extremely well compared to like other races. I'm not saying other races. Well, nah, I won't even speak on that. God damn. I've just been looking at the wrong ones. Or the wrong ones have been coming to me. Shit. Ah, fucking Nick. All right, so my headset's gonna be doing that bitch ass thing where it's like every 10 minutes it's gonna be, hey, we're did now. Yeah, this headset's weird, but it's just like I have a horrible track record when it comes to blondes and redheads. Yet they're fucking amazing, both inside and out. It's like fuck. I need it. I need it, nigga. I think it's the mini afro that I'm growing that's giving me all this power. I look like my name is Point Dexter. By the power of my squiggly, scratchy ass beard, it's like, yeah, man. I look like a fucking nerd. Hi. I don't know what comes next, but I just can't stop smiling and laughing and shit. It's just, I'm kind of happy with how things are going at least. Mainly because I've just started letting myself really be myself and just do whatever I want to do. All right, let's see. Someone said we're going into r/deep thoughts now. Hi, welcome to the other corner of Grimm's Midnight Commentary, where we get into midnight thoughts and shit. You know, them shower thoughts, whatever. Those deep, deep thoughts. Someone said to become successful requires the deepest dive into yourself and loneliness and a bit of madness. In other words, welcome to my world. You'll never understand it, but it's alright. Sometimes you're supposed to, sometimes you're not. No, not all the sacrifices, not having to work harder, having the goals talk and shit like that. That is the madness behind it, but it's just like some things work for different folks. Fucking hate hustle culture. I mean, that does sound delusional, but hey. A lot of people are saying that loneliness is like the human condition. Like you're always going to feel alone and shit. For me, it's like I'm genuinely okay with being alone until that one special person comes along and is. I hate that I'm clingy and shit to a great degree. It's like I kind of can't go on in my life without that person because they're so fucking special and shit. But then, like, once they leave and exit my life, I feel like I could never recover this, that, and the third. And it's like, afterwards, I learned to basically rebuild and turn myself into something a lot better than before. You know? Life is a reflection of your risk tolerance. Oh, baby, is that the fucking story of my life. I can genuinely. Hey, if you are genuinely curious to hear about stories and shit that have happened in my life, or just whatever, genuinely let me know. My risk tolerance is beyond stupid. Like, it's stupid. Everyone calls me crazy, and I'm like, have you done it before? No. Shut the fuck up. You never know until you know. Just like I took a risk on making like these videos and all this other type of shit. It's like, it's the only way that I get my crazy mind to stop shifting and going everywhere. Like, hoo ha cha cha cha, hoo ha fa fa fa, hoo ha cha cha cha, like all over the place and shit. You know, it's the one thing that makes my mind actually calm the fuck down. And I'm bipolar, crazy, and all this other shit. You know, who you are today, your current situation / state of being, is a culmination of the risk you choose to take or don't take in your life. Sure, where you're born, your hard work, your genetics all play a role in making who you are today. But one of the biggest factors is your molding of luck, what you allow to happen to you. Example A. Do you take a road trip to Vegas or do you fly there? If you drive, you could end up in a head-on collision. But if you fly, you might get there a bit quicker. Take an Uber, but that Uber driver is also a con artist who steals your luggage. Ain't that a bitch? Example B. You choose to go to community college, go into the trades, and end up buying a modest house by 25. Alternatively, you could have gone to medical school, become a doctor by 32, and bought an even bigger house, but by age 40. 15 years later. Example C. You decide to brush your teeth before bed, but spend 2 hours rolling around trying to fall asleep and waking up feeling groggy the whole day. Alternatively, you chose not to brush your teeth before bed, woke up feeling refreshed but also somehow got a mouth infection, and have to spend a few hundred to go see the dentist. Yikes. Example D. You close the door so your dog can't sleep on your bed, which makes your dog sad, so he starts chewing on all the wires in your house. Alternatively, you allow your dog to sleep in the room, but he shits on your pillow and you develop pink eye, can't go to work, and you eventually get fired. In almost all of these scenarios, there's a mix of player agency and luck. When you're sitting there one day asking yourself who you are, why you think the way you do, why you ended up in your current situation, you're basically a single stochastical manifestation of the world making various choices, culminating in a result of you as a person. TLDR, you are a representation of your choices, but your choices also have a great deal of inherent luck. You're essentially piloting a luck simulator. Someone said, I'm a 42-year-old man. I'm selling my house and my car and then quitting my job after that, taking my money to a new state I've never been to and starting fresh again. New everything, including me. I am extremely excited and don't give a flying fuck about anything because I make the outcome of my life. Did it before. Do it again. Every time I've done it, I come out even more on top. People say I'm crazy, I say I'm free. Fucking love it. Amen, brother, because that's the same way that I am. I've actually been to a lot of states and been with a lot of other people, but because I didn't adequately prepare myself for that situation, now I could have stayed in those situations, and I honestly don't know where they could have gone. But I snuck back to just being in that comfortability of whatever I have now, and it just, yes, I suffer in some ways, and I thrive in others, but, you know, and then someone is saying, are you aware that flying is safer than driving? Huh. Let's look at what this person said. On what the fuck? someone is saying that basically video games and media are a distraction and illusion that keeps us from truly being human. I agree with them, but I also don't give too much of a fuck for that. Genuinely made me think. Let's try to find one more and then... I wanted to get into... essentially, what is it? Oh yeah, horror and shit. Intrusive thoughts. Shower thoughts. What the fuck? Okay, yeah, those are shower thoughts. Jesus fuck. Hey, deep philosophy. Hmm. Can't find nothing, you know. Does anyone know where I can be able to find like some deep thoughts or some shit like that outside of my own? Because it's like I'm all over the place and shit, you know? Ah, someone said this. Let me take a bite out of my chicken sandwich before we continue. Ah, nah, 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 nah. Man, that shit is good. As long as people refuse critical thinking, poor leaders will come into power. Because leaders come from people. This person says the reason we have problems in the world is due to the unfortunate reality that very few people have personality styles conducive to intellectual curiosity and critical thinking. Free will does not exist. We are products of our environment. Oh boy. So if you have no or limited desire to expose yourself to knowledge and questions and thoughts, logically, how can you improve your thinking? Where would it come from? How can you change your thinking if you just double down and parrot your pre-existing thoughts and don't challenge them or expose yourself to other views, or immediately attack and shut down anyone who says something that does not match your pre-existing views? You know what? Let me say something. Basically, people are kind of like, fuck it, we're like herd animals, and then some other people really aren't. I remember, earlier, fuck. You probably saw it while we were playing Marvel Rivals. Everybody wants me to play support and shit like that. I can play support pretty good. The only problem is I don't want to play fucking support. If you want support or some other shit, or you want healing, I'm gonna be honest with you. You fucking do it. Because it's like, if I want to play as a DPS or some other shit, and I know that this is the exact same thought that they have. Here's the thing with me though. If I have a problem with something, I will fucking solve it. I'm not going to bitch and complain majority of the time. And if I do, I'm still going to try to find a fucking solution to it. Jay, swap the healer. Jay, swap the strategist. Jay, swap the support. Jay, do this and the other shit. And then whenever I do play with them, it's just like sometimes they do good, sometimes they do bad, and then there's other games where it's just genuinely what the fuck do we do? Because the way how these fuckers are playing are more coordinated and better than us, and you can't win them all. You can't. There are some games you are genuinely going to lose, and there's nothing you can do about it. It always is going to feel like it, but you have to actually accept reality and shit and be like, there was genuinely nothing that we could do about it. And then people like my ex and some other people can't accept other views and shit, living in an echo chamber and fucking ugh. A lot of people live in echo chambers or some other shit, and anything that basically disagrees with them or whatever the fuck, they're just like, ugh, get this the fuck away from me. Or if you challenge them or whatever on their shit, it's just like, fuck you. And it's like, what? No, I'm just genuinely trying to figure out why you think this way, why you do this and the other third. It's interesting to me. I'm not denouncing you or judging you or any shit. It's just I want to know why. I want to actually understand, not sit there and be like, dumbass. I don't do that. Back to what I was saying, or not even something like that. It's like if someone says something and then it's just like this one person says no, but because everyone isn't sure, you go with the person who might be more adamant or stuck in their own ways and shit about it. And it's just like, no, 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 my bad. You go with the person that's more assertive or whatever with it because it's just like, if you sound like you know what you're talking about, I mean, think about it. People by and large are just like, yeah, they know what they're talking about. I'm not going to disagree. If I genuinely don't know something, I genuinely don't fucking know something. But have you ever had those people that where it's just like they say something and it's like, you know that they're completely wrong, but both of y'all's goofy asses want to see where this goes. Alright, let's look at this again. How can something come from nothing? Therefore, without critical thinking, it is impossible to improve our thinking. So if the vast majority don't exercise critical thinking, it's like if one person just says something, everyone else is going to agree with it. And here's the thing. I can actually admit when I'm wrong with something, but if I feel like I'm open to new possibilities, to new things, this, that, and the other third, but I will absolutely sit there and be like, are you sure? Like this, that, and the other stuff. I will debate to a degree trying to understand why you think that way and some other shit. I'm just trying to understand. And then that person thinks I'm just arguing with them, just to argue, and it's like, no. Because if you refuse to see someone else's side, why would you want them to see your side if you think about it? And if the thinking of the masses does not improve, how could proper leaders be chosen? The problem is exacerbated by the setup of the society. The education system, mainstream media, and main societal institutions in general actively discourage critical thinking and instead try to increase emotional reasoning and rile up people's emotions to divide and conquer them. And they've been really fucking good with that. Anything across the media, if it makes you feel some type of way, what happens? You get in on that shit. This is basically neoliberal capitalism. It is the oligarchy establishment that keeps his power. By getting people to infight, people will be distracted and not realize the root of everyone's problems. The motherfucking establishment. So we have a vicious cycle. The vast majority of people have personality styles that are not conducive to intellectual curiosity or exercising critical thinking. And a capitalist system fans these flames and makes people even less likely to use critical thinking. I am unsure if personality styles can change, but what I can say is at least if the setup of the society and more is changed, they're encouraged to be critical thinkers. Here's the thing. Even within these echo chambers, you basically, if you say anything that's outside of what is related or the norm and etc., they hound and they get on your ass instead of trying to understand why, how, like all that other shit. It's like you get the praise, and let's be honest, humans by and large, we love the praise, we love the love, like all that other good shit that comes with it. But the moment like someone goes like, "Oh, you're fucking stupid," it's like, "What?" Like my friend Logan, or Chicken, as y'all know him. I love him to death. I think of that motherfucker as a brother. But he let some YouTube comments about a child get to his fucking head. And yes, if you're watching, I'm sorry I wasn't able to say it to your face, but if you do ask me next time about it, I will tell you. I think he's asleep right now, but I wasn't able to tell him at the time. I was just like, that was a child. I understand that they see you in a different light or some shit. But this was during whenever, what was it? Me and him were playing a Roblox fighting game, a Battlegrounds game. And he was at his beginning stage of learning how to play the characters and shit. And he was just like, yo, this kid is basically just roasting and he's glazing you and all this other shit. And I'm just like, I wanted to tell him, just make YouTube videos of you beating the fucking brakes off of people. Who knows? It could turn into something. But that's up to him. I'm not going to call him a bitch if he doesn't do it. He has his own personal reasons. So we have the vicious cycle. The vast majority of people doing this, that, and the third is that there's always something we can do, and that's better than doing a whole lot of nothing. But the thing is, it's just like people don't want to take like the backlash or the negative shit that comes with it. And can you blame them? Some people are genuinely fucking lazy or scared. Leaders slash politicians are also part of the masses or people. So if you have masses who don't exercise critical thinking, do you think they vote for those with critical thinking? Of course the fuck not. They will vote for people exactly like them because they can't think of anything outside of that. That's how these leaders come into power and use their power to further the system of the use of institutions of society to decrease critical thinking and divide, conquer people on their own power. So how do you break the cycle? There are a few minority of people who use critical thinking, but again, there's literally no demand for them because if you think about it, unfortunately, this is why they weren't chosen as leaders. If the masses don't exercise critical thinking, they don't choose the proper leaders. When you are not a leader, you don't have the ability to spread your message. When you can't spread your message, you can't increase critical thinking across the population. Again, the vicious cycle. How do we break it? I like to believe, at least whenever I talk about things or whatever, is critical thinking and more. Because I believe that common sense is bad, and just like playing, how do I say this? Doing most things, a lot of people don't fucking think. My ass included. The only difference is from that person and me is I genuinely want to look at how to do better and more. I can actually take criticism. Those other people, whew. Ooh. My ex, for example, Jesus Christ. There are two ways through. The first is largely theoretical. If a critical thinker somehow becomes a billionaire and uses their money, power, and influence to gather a sufficient audience and spread critical thinking across the globe. However, that statistically is very impossible. There are about 3,000 billionaires out of 8 people. At the very most, 20% of people are critical thinkers. So, assuming that billionaires are randomly created slash shared with the general population, that would mean there is only a 608 billion chance of a critical thinker becoming a billionaire. However, in reality, billionaires are not a random representation of the general public. They are more likely to be part of the majority who don't exercise critical thinking. That is how they became billionaires in the first place. A critical thinker is not going to be obsessed about money and will spend their time thinking about more important things, so they are much less likely to become a billionaire. That is why there are indeed not 600 critical thinking billionaires, there are zero. I think that's dumb to a degree because to amass that amount of money, wouldn't you have to be thinking in a very critical manner? Jesus. To date, there has never been a critical thinking billionaire. Let's see where he goes with this. Not a single billionaire has used their money, power, and fame for good. They have used it to protect and maintain the neoliberal capitalist system that made them able to accumulate yachts in the first place. Some of them do public stunts like give away 99% of their money, but that doesn't do much. Unless they use their money and fame to talk about how the neoliberal system is inherently flawed. They are not critical thinkers, and they have not used their money in a logical or moral manner. I think it's just not up to this person's standards, but I genuinely could be wrong. I actually hope I am. Those who actively promote an inherently... Oh, I forgot. There's a weird thing that guys do, where it's just like we put like our hands in our pants or some shit. We're not touching ourselves. We're genuinely not touching ourselves. It's just like a weird way to keep yourself warm, you know? What is it? Where was I at? Those who actively promote an inherently flawed and immoral system get rich off of it. Then spread their money around to make people dependent on them, rely on them for aid, are not critical thinkers or moral. That's how they got to where they got to in the first place. They said fuck the rules. They said fuck everything that was normal. What we deem good and bad doesn't apply to these people. This leads him, but overall they are still too selfish. Well, we already get where he was going with that. This leads me to the second way of changing the world. The second way is if critical thinkers use their power and reach to very slowly increase critical thinking. It will take generations, but it is very practical. For example, I have created the following. The link has an intro plus summary. Nigga, what? And at the bottom of the link, there are individual sections that are about a 5-minute bullet point read. Unfortunately, this material is only taught at the college/university level, and most practical people don't end up taking enough courses that cover these concepts. Politicians, judges, billionaires are absolutely clueless in terms of this information. They were never taught it. That's why we have problems. Imagine if hundreds of millions of people read this link and actually use some critical thinking to think more and connect the concepts. This would prevent millions of unnecessary deaths and improve the quality of life for billions of people instead. But when the likes of Trump or Musk tweet some nonsense, 100 million people immediately see their tweets. That is why we have problems. Again, how do we break this cycle? This is the person still saying this. I believe something is better than nothing. No shit. Even if I can share this information with a few people and increase critical thinking in a few people, it is higher than zero. It is unfortunately because if I had Trump or Musk fame, this info would reach hundreds of millions of people in the world, would be a much, much better place. But again, the reason that Trump or Musk are famous and not people who push critical thinking is proof of the problems and vicious cycles in the first place. Even someone like Bill Gates, who is worshipped by the majority, he is absolutely clueless in terms of basic information in this link, and he literally believes that global capitalism is required to make the world a better place. He comes on Reddit to do a bunch of AMAs because he loves attention. Yet he is completely devoid of the basic knowledge in this link. He is not a critical thinker. Imagine in one of his AMAs he spread the following link. Instead of his principal motive and all of spreading global capitalism, it would actually make the world a much better place. But again, the reason people like Musk, Trump, and Gates are worshipped is again because of the vicious cycle. Hmm. All humans are capable of doing the same thing another person is, but it's just you're only doing what you're taught. Someone and a lot of people are saying that people are incapable of critical thought. And he actually left a link. Huh, let's check this. Hmm. I'm just trying to figure out some of this shit. I think this. Oh God. I think my fucking coworker just sent me something. It's just the hard R and the hard R. People are wonderful and horrible. Oh my fucking God, this man's crazy. Alright then. So I'm gonna just conclude things here. Today's been a happy, nice, jolly, holly day and shit, so ooh. Yeah, I'm just gonna eat my sandwich and we're gonna start up some horror tales and shit, you know?